Happy New Year from the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. And we're celebrating the new year by gazing in the rear view at 2023. Another fabulous year for King of the Road Productions, Southeast Texas style. During the half hour, we'll check out some highlights from the past 12 months. And sponsored by Tanner West and Texas Construction Resources. Well, here we are at NerdCon in Mont Belvieu. We've been talking about this for a long time. Mark Price from Family Ties and Trick or Treat.
Here's Mark Price from Family Ties and Trick or Treat.
And I've got an autographed picture that's going to go on my wall of fame, Mark. I'm going to
get Michael J. Fox to sign the other side of it.
Yeah. Can you get that done?
I can.
We'll feature the Honky Tonk Texas fabulous flashback. We'll also wear the Southeast Texas debut of Sophie Boland's new video as our Taylor Trading Company Music Clip of the Week from Nashville. And Frank Foster will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Glenn's Express Collision. Howdy, Happy New Year, and welcome to the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. I'm Jim King of the Road. This is our last episode of 2023. In honor of that, we're airing my 17th annual New Year's special. Man, how time flies when you're having a royal time. Speaking of royal times, that's what you'll get every time you stream the magnificent country music mix of King's Country Internet Radio. In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. King's Country streams the most magnificent country music mix on the planet 24/7. Stream King's Country Internet Radio on your PC, smart speaker, mobile device, or in your vehicle with a Bluetooth connection. King's Country streaming worldwide and crystal clear on TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, and at kingscountry.net. And don't miss the nationally recognized and multi-award-winning Jim King of the Radio show. Middays, Monday through Friday on King's Country at kingscountry.net. It does rule. In case you hadn't heard, Southeast Texas lost a legend a couple of weeks ago with the passing of Larry Barron, owner of Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, Texas. Larry was larger than life, never met a stranger, and was always helping others. He left an indelible mark on Southeast Texas and will always be fondly remembered. Rest in peace, Larry Barron. Brenda Barron and her staff will continue running Larry's and plan on being there next weekend.
Wow, can you believe it? A new year, 2024. Hope everybody had a great New Year's start. Come on out and play with us. Come out and shop with us. Come out and have a good time. Bring the family. We're starting out a fresh new year. Let's hope the economy's good. Let's hope the political things are good. But most of all, forget all that and just come out. You can find it here at Larry's Old Time Trade Days. And again, remember, come shop with us.
Desire can make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you, and I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. No, I wanna fall in love.
than 250 teams, led by barbecue aficionados, competed in the World Championship Barbecue Contest outside NRG Stadium in Houston. While most teams' tents are invitation only, visitors can enjoy several public venues. We had the honor and privilege of being invited into the Jefferson County Go Texan tent. You guys raise money for scholarships?
We sure do. We gave $128,000 out last year. So this is our 51st year.
So you're also in the competition for barbecue too?
We are. We're brisket, chicken, and ribs.
All right.
And anything on the pit, which is our surf and turf.
We probably won. They just hadn't been back around to tell us.
Right.
What do you think about all this, Andy?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 68 counties like this county right here in Area Go Texas.
You know, the Houston Rodeo, they do such a great job just giving back money to all the different counties, the Metro and the Area Go Texan, and supporting youth. I think last year their contribution was about $24 million to education, so they do a great job.
When the sun went down, the fun got cranked up at the World's Championship Barbecue Contest, and a lot of festive folks were dancing in the Jefferson County Go Texan tent. Plus, the carnival was open for wild rides and fun games. We had a blast at the World Championship Barbecue Contest in Houston, and I'm already polishing my Crown Boy hat for next year's festivities.
What am I living for, if not for you? What am I living for, if not for you? What am I living for, if not for you? Baby, nobody else will do.
I started singing when you were really young and used to play just for crawfish, all you could eat.
That was my first booking.
Yeah.
Had John Pickett and Butch Landry, two of my buddies. We got a little three-piece band together, and so they had a little club in Port Arthur. They said they'd feed us crawfish if we'd play. So that was my really first gig. I graduated in '58 and did my first recording. And but I was already going across the river to Louisiana. There was a difference in the age, you know, when you know where you could go to these clubs and stuff. So I was singing when I was probably in 17 in high school, and then at 18 I started recording.
Yeah, Breaking Up is hard to do. That came out the year I was born, 1959.
59.
Yeah.
And
That was your biggest hit, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I recorded quite a bit after that. Did a lot of stuff in Nashville, and I had 3 or 4 more songs in the national charts. But the only one anybody is a signature song like is "Breaking Up Is Hard to Do." That's all. Anybody else just if you talk about my name, they'll say, "Oh, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do." So. Oh yeah, just like the old record. My friend Jim King, King of the Road, is here. You're gonna probably see this on the Saturday night show. Channel 4.
This segment is sponsored by Tanner West and Texas Construction Resources. When it comes to land clearing, dirt work, excavation, or custom ponds in Southeast Texas, there's only one name you need to know: Texas Construction Resources. Owner Tanner West and his very capable crew have the equipment and experience to handle any job. Give them a call at 409-782-6438. TCR also specializes in site prep, house pads, land clearing, demo, driveways, and much more. Call Texas Construction Resources in Tanner West, 409-782-6438. Still to come, we'll air the Southeast Texas debut of Sophie Boland's new video as our Taylor Trading Company music clip of the week from Nashville. We'll also feature the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. Frank Foster will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Glenn's Express Collision on West Cardinal Drive in Beaumont. Next, we'll wrap up our gaze in the rear view at 2023, another fabulous year for King of the Road Productions. You're watching Jim King of the TV's 17th annual New Year's special on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube.
Is your house or roof dirty? Let the professionals at Frog Wash Pressure Washing bring your biggest investment back to life. Don't take a risk doing it yourself. Let the Soft Wash specialists clean your roof, house, vinyl siding, hard plank, and windows with low pressure and specialized chemicals. Check out our past jobs and reviews on our social media page. Our work speaks for itself. Insured and A+ rated by BBB. Call Frog Wash Pressure Washing for your free estimate today.
Fulfill your need for speed with remote control fun from Holcomb Hobbies at 2615 Cardinal Drive next to Glenn's Express Collision in Beaumont, Texas. At Holcomb Hobbies, you'll find a huge selection of remote control trucks, cars, boats, and dragsters, along with all the parts and accessories you'll ever need.
You can upgrade everything on them. You can upgrade wheels, tires, motors, servos, which is your steering. You can do lift kits, suspension. Anything you can do to a real truck, you can do to these pretty much.
Holcomb Hobbies, 2615 West Cardinal Drive in Beaumont, Texas, next to Glenn's Express Collision.
As the new year begins, work hard and cheerfully at whatever you do, just as if you were working for the Lord, not merely for your bosses. For it is the Lord Jesus who will pay you, giving you a full portion of what he owns. For he is the one you really are working for.
Guys, hey, we're live at NerdCon. This is James. I'm director of NerdCon.
James and the rest of the crew did a fantastic job recently at NerdCon in Mont Belvieu, Texas, at Eagle Point Recreation Complex. This fantastic event included over 80 booths and tables featuring TV personalities, voice actors, comic artists, authors, fan groups, cosplayers, and all sorts of fun vendors.
Almost every weekend I use Comic-Cons as an opportunity for my students to practice their interpreting. It's pretty fun, and I usually buy them a photo op with a celebrity. Are you guys having fun?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Actor Keith Coogan from the 1987 hit movie Adventures in Babysitting was signing autographs at NerdCon. By the way, Keith is the grandson of the late great Jackie Coogan, who became Uncle Fester on The Addams Family. That's Keith Coogan. I'm a big fan of your grandpa.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was worked his whole life and was kind of a rascally grandpa, you know. He never would really help me read roles. He just would tell me to show up on time and watch your money and be careful of mothers.
Uncle Fester, my favorite on Addams Family.
Oh, thank you. Shoot him in the back. Morticia.
Of course, Coogan was one of the main attractions at this year's NerdCon, along with fellow TV and film star Mark Price of Family Ties and the movie Trick or Treat. Well, here we are at NerdCon in Mont Belvieu. We've been talking about this for a long time. Mark Price from Family Ties and Trick or Treat.
Here's Mark Price from Family Ties and Trick or Treat.
And I've got an autographed picture that's going to go on my wall of fame, Mark.
You get Michael J. Fox to sign the other side of it.
Yeah. Can you get that done?
I can.
Okay.
We raised some money for Michael J. Fox Foundation today. We had some t-shirts that we sold 100% for his foundation.
Again, we're talking to Mark Price, Family Ties, and Trick or Treat, just to name a few. Did you leave the acting business?
I came back to it recently and did my first movie in many decades. They say the camera adds 10 pounds. Have you heard that? But it turns out not being in front of the camera for the last 3 decades added 50 pounds. So I accepted this role, and I'm kind of the bad guy. I'm not the monster, but I'm the bad guy or the antagonist. It's called Witchy Ways, and it comes out in 2024.
And you still live in Los Angeles?
Same place since I'm 17. I've never moved.
What took you to Los Angeles? The acting business?
Yeah, that, and my parents got divorced, and I moved in with my dad. He moved out to Cali.
And how did you get into the acting business?
My dad was a comedian, so it was a natural. I like to say I followed in his footsteps. we're both poor decision makers. But he taught me everything and introduced me to everybody and kind of gave me a great pathway.
How long a run did you have with Family Ties and Trick or Treat and the other projects?
Family Ties was about 7 years. Trick or Treat was right at the end of that. I hosted Teen Win Lose or Draw on the Disney Channel for about 4 years. And last night I performed in Houston, and I'm performing in Arizona next week, and I go on tour as a comedian. And I'm at like 40 cities this year. That would be like this poster here.
So that's your new job.
That's kind of the thing I've been doing since before Family Ties that I still do now. I love it very much. I was a little kid comedian.
It's Val Merrick, famous artist, Howard the Duck. What you working on?
I am doing a sketch of the Swamp Thing for a client who came by and wanted that was a swamp monster type character for DC Comics. And I'm just finishing that up for him. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. I managed to get the attention of Marvel Comics when I was 22 years old, still living in Ohio. And a few years later, I moved on to New York City to just further my career and, you know, my contacts in the commercial art world and meet all the really great living illustrators and learn from them and get better at my craft.
King of the Road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but he's got beads that say Super Viagra. Does that Viagra work?
Yeah, it does.
This is for family viewing here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Call in the recruits. Find all kinds of stuff down here on the Midway at Port Arthur Mardi Gras. Le bon temps roulé.
Et le bon temps roulé, Port Arthur.
King of the Road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.
The Texas honky tonk. There's no place like home.
Since 2008, Honky Tonk Texas and Silsbee, Texas has featured a steady stream of the very best in local, regional, and national touring bands. Pack up your posse and boot scoot over to Honky Tonk Texas for great concerts, dancing, drinking, and dining. Of course, Steak Night is every Thursday, and don't forget about the Honky Tonk Grill. Visit them online at facebook.com/honkytonktx and at honkytonktexas.us. Honky Tonk Texas and Silsbee has been entertaining Southeast Texas since 2008. Where have you been? Since Tina Bean started 5-Star Feeds in Port Arthur over 22 years ago, it's become a friendly neighborhood feed store and much more. Kind of like the general store of the good old days.
I think so. I try to be like it used to be. When I was young, going to feed stores and everything, it's, you know, when people come in here, I want them to feel like they're walking into my house, where they feel welcome. So we try to keep it like that.
5-Star Feeds in Port Arthur, Texas. Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here.
King of the Road.
Howdy, Happy New Year, and thanks again for watching the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. I'm Jim King of the Road. Still to come, Frank Foster will be in the Royal Spotlight, brought to you by Glenn's Express Collision. But now here comes the Southeast Texas debut of Sophie Boland's new video as our Taylor Trading Company music clip of the week from Nashville. Taylor Trading Company is the only car dealership you'll ever need, and they're located right here in Southeast Texas at 4125 College Street in Beaumont. Taylor Trading Company has the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in all Southeast Texas, and they finance everyone. Cruise by Taylor Trading Company and see all they have to offer with their king-sized inventory, or visit them on the web at taylortradingtx.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Jim King of the TV and radio shows. Sophie Boland is a Grand Rapids, Michigan native and splits her time between Michigan and Nashville. She's been acting for over a decade with roles in several feature films. With Sophie's film experience, she's created the concepts for her videos and acted as the producer and hired the director. She's planning on multiple videos in 2024. Here comes Her Highness Sophie Boland and Night Owl as our Taylor Trading Company music clip of the week from Nashville.
As the new year begins, work hard and cheerfully at whatever you do, just as if you were working for the Lord, not merely for your bosses. For it is the Lord Jesus who will pay you, giving you a full portion of what He owns. For He is the one you really are working for.
Coming up next, Frank Foster will be in the Royal Spotlight, sponsored by Glenn's Express Collision on West Cardinal Drive in Beaumont. You're watching Jim King of the TV's 17th annual New Year's special on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here.
Well, I grew up halfway between Mississippi and Texas. Summer sure was a hot down old Cypress Bottom road. I remember Mama waking us up and cooking us breakfast, and Daddy patting us on the back as he walked us to them old corn rows. Oh, and we kicked up dust back when it was the way it was. Back when it was the way it was. Now we didn't have a whole lot, but wasn't hurting for nothing. Some good ground my daddy found in the good Lord up above. A creek bottom full of firewood that was well worth cutting. And some old dogs that would load up my 72 pickup truck and run a rabbit, hog, or whitetail buck. Back when it was the way it was. Back when it was the way it was. Back when it was the way. Back when it was the way it was. Now there's a barefooted ball game bound to be broke out somewhere. And I got 100 on between the front porch and the mailbox. And this, of course, when it was raining, we was staring down yonder. That old weeping willow across the road down there by Uncle Hops. Lord, it was soaking up every single drop. All back when it was the way that it was. Back when it was the way it was. Back when it was the way. Back when it was the way it was. Yeah.
Glenn's Express Collision on Cardinal Drive in Beaumont has been family owned and operated for more than 30 years, and they are recommended by most of the major insurance companies. Here's Glenn's Express Collision owner, Michael Holcomb.
Most of our jobs are referrals from insurance because we're tightly niched with those specific insurance companies. They trust us as a shop because they know we're going to treat the customer right, we're going to do the repair right, and we're going to be here for when the customer needs to come back.
Glenn's Express Collision, 2615 West Cardinal Drive in Beaumont. Advertising on the King of the Road Show HD is effective and affordable. For more information, call us at 748-9689 or email Jim at jimkingoftheroad.com.